Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Sorry about that. Just had some technical difficulties here. I see we got one person in here already. So let's wait for everybody to get in, and then we'll get started today. Let's just wait for some people to get in here. Let's just wait. Let me get my notes ready while everybody's coming in. Okay. 1 second here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Max, how you doing? Aiden, what's good? How you guys doing today? Make sure you guys, when you check in, just make sure you let us know where you're coming in from. Yeah, Aiden, yeah, you were first. You were first. Angel was good. LA in the house was good, man. We caught you guys again off guard again. So you know how we like to do it. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Edwin, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, let's see. Okay, Don John was good from the UK. Good to see you. Justin Cab, what's good? Make sure you guys hit the like, guys, so we get as many people in here. Okay, Max from New Jersey. Okay, that's what's up, from New Jersey. Marco and I actually lived in New Jersey. Marco lived in New Jersey. I lived there too. Mark Law from Manchester. What's good? What's good? Ricardo from Shottown. What's up? How you doing, man? How you doing? From Portugal. That's what's up. That's what's up. Caesar. I hope I'm saying that right. Martins. How you doing? Mad 820F from San Diego. How you doing? Southern California. What's good? Let's give everybody a second to come in. Thank you guys for hitting the likes. Let's get up to about 50 people today. I got a pretty interesting topic I want to discuss with you guys. Just want to make sure we get as many people in here. Malawi, how you doing? From Malawi, Africa, what's good? New York, what's good from New York? What's good from New York? What part of New York you from? Black Spartan Club, what's going on? I'm good. I'm good. We're all good, man. Let's just wait. We got about 50 people in the house today. Let's just keep getting the notifications out. Keep hitting the likes. Let's give everybody a few minutes to get in here. We only been here for 2 minutes. Okay, Lion Face from Germany. What's good? Conley, how you doing? How you doing? Big Dog, PG Big Dog from Pittsburgh, PA. Edwin from New Jersey. Okay. Flame, Dad from Shottown, bro. Hey, man, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. We're almost at 50 people. Let's give it like 30 more seconds to 1 more minute so everybody comes in here. Also, for the new people that are in here, make sure you guys, if you want to get your comments read, as you can see, the comments are coming in. Make sure you guys hit the join button to join the channel. Just hit the $ and join so I can see your comments, so I can read it out from the crowd, because we got a lot of people in here. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. We got Colton. Colton, how you doing? Sam, how you doing, man? What's good? I see you. Karan finally came in on time. Yes, I saw your comment the last time. I forgot to respond to that. Gilbert, how you doing, man? Welcome. Who said from what? Antarctica. Okay, good. Thank you guys for hitting the likes. We're 50 people. Let's give it about 30 more seconds, and then we'll get going. I got a pretty interesting topic. Yeah, there's a sign-in from this guy called Yogi Farrell. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to it. It dropped yesterday. Finally, the notification worked. Yes, guys. Also, if you guys haven't hit the notification on the channel, sometimes YouTube doesn't send out the notifications when the videos go out. It happens to everybody on YouTube. So sometimes the video will come out, you won't see it. So make sure you hit the notification next to the subscribe. Cypress, what's good? Cypress, Socrates, the name I'm seeing. What's good, my man? How you know I'm always waiting for? Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate that. Also, say what's up to Marco. Marco's in here too. He's on the Dreamerspro chat. So if you guys leave a comment, you see somebody respond from Dreamerspro, that's Marco. So Marco's in here too. So say what's up to Marco. Okay, we're almost at 70 people. Let's give it 30 more seconds and we'll get started. Yes, Yogi, that's the guy I'm going to be talking about. Is that Dubai or Dubai? Daddy Chill, do you mean Dubai, or is that another place? Bro, change your background area for this one. Yeah, man, we got to switch it up. Okay, Midnight, what's good, man? Hey, what's good? Let's give it 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. We're almost at 70 people. Just make sure you keep hitting the likes so the notifications go out, and then we'll get started. Got a lot I want to talk today. Also, I want to take a lot of you guys questions. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave your questions. I want to answer as many. Yes, Dubai. Make sure you leave as many questions as possible so I can get to your questions today. Okay, so let's get started. So as people come in, they'll hit the likes, and then more people will come in. Okay, so let me get into this topic here. I see a lot of people in the comment section already asking me, what's this signing? What's the signing? What's the signing, right? So basically yesterday, if you guys want to find out about the signing after this video, or just pull it up on your phone, depending on how you're watching this video, make sure you guys just check on Instagram. Check the Clippers Instagram. And then that's what they usually put, like when they sign a player. That's what they actually signed another player. I forgot his name. I saw a video on the Clippers Instagram page where they kind of, I think they gave him this guy the game ball or something like this. So the Clippers have been making some moves recently. Just keep leaving your comments and questions. Also, don't forget to join the channel to make sure I can read out, check out your comment. Anyway, so they signed this new player called Yogi Pharaoh to a 10-day contract. And I know a lot of you guys out there listen, like, who is Yogi Farrell? Who is this guy that we're talking about? Okay, let me explain to you who Yogi Farrell is. Yogi Farrell is basically a basketball player that was undrafted in the 2016 NBA draft, right? Now, the guy himself, he's had a pretty bumpy NBA career, to be quite honest with you. Now, he's played with a lot of teams. The guy's played with a lot of teams. He played with the Brooklyn Nets. He then later went to go play with the Long Island Nets. Then he played with the Dallas Mavericks. He played with the Sacramento Kings. He played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played with the Salt Lake Stars because he was in the G League as well. And now he just signed to the Clippers. But let me give you guys a quick rundown for those of you guys who don't know. So as I said, he was undrafted, right, in the NBA. In 2017, 2018, he signed a 10-day contract. He signed a lot of 10-day contracts in his career, this guy. He signed a 10-day contract with the Dallas Mavericks. Now, after he signed that contract with the Mavericks, he made his debut with the team the following day. He scored like 9 points, 7 assists in 36 minutes, right? A day later, he then scored a career high 19 points, right? And then on February 1st of that year, on February 1st that year, he played very well. But what kept happening with this guy is he would keep getting released by teams, because in July 2018, he signed a 2-year deal with the Sacramento Kings worth $3 million for the 2018-2019 season. But then the following year later, he ended up leaving. And then in December 2020, he signed another contract with the Utah Jazz, but he was waived the next day. So the guy signed a contract, and then the next day, he got waived by that team. Then on January 11, 2021, this year, he signed a 10-day contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he was waived 3 days later after only playing 2 games on back-to-back nights. Now, he scored like 9 points against the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the following game, he scored 10 points against the Utah Jazz, and then he was let go of. Then on January 26th, he signed with the Salt Lake Stars, right? But he only played 14 games with them. And then on April 19th, he signed a 10-day contract with the Los Angeles Clippers. So I'm giving you guys the breakdown, because some people are asking me, who is this person? So you guys kind of have the backstory on this guy. He's been around the league for a while, since 2016. He's 27 years old, right? So now I want to explain to you guys the reasoning behind the Clippers signing this dude. Make sure you guys keep hitting the likes. I see we got a lot of comments in here, so make sure you keep hitting the likes. Let me give you guys the reason. Now, this is according to SI.com, right? SI.com wrote this piece just, I believe it was today. They said the Clippers announced on Monday that they've signed a free agent point guard, Yogi Farrell, to a 10-day contract, okay? This news means that the Clippers will not sign Malik Fitz to a second 10-day contract. That was the other guy, Malik Fitz. He had signed a 10-day contract, but then they didn't extend his 10-day contract. Though the rookie was able to score in his first NBA basket on Sunday against the Minnesota Timberwolves before his contract expired. Now, Farrell, this is the part I want you guys to pay attention to. Farrell is being added to the Clippers to shore up the Clippers' point guard depth, as starter Patrick Beverly is expected to miss at least 3 more weeks with a fractured left hand. That's the part I want to get into. Okay, the fact that Patrick Beverly is expected to miss the next 3 weeks. This is the important part I want to get into. Why am I talking about this video today? Because some people are like, why the hell did you decide to do this video? The season is almost over. Guys, the Clippers have 13 games left in the season. Okay, I think they've played 59 games. Yes, they played 59 games. If I look at the Western Conference standings right now, if I pull up the Western Conference standings right now, the Clippers should be in the number 3 spot. The Clippers are the number 3 spot behind the Suns and the Jazz. Now, the Clippers tonight are going to be playing against the Portland Trailblazers. Again, this is a good time to tell you guys. So if you guys want to live chat during that game, hey, Nathan, what's good? If you guys want to be a part of that live chat, you can check out Dreamerspro Max. It's an online sports community place where you can start basketball discussions and chat live during games and also watch content that you get nowhere else. You can get that. We're going to link that at the end of this video, at the end of the video. And you can get 7 days of access. So we're going to be live chatting on there tonight, and we're going to be doing that all throughout the playoffs. But also, we're going to be doing post-game reactions after every single game in the playoffs live. We just got to figure out a way how we want to do it. But you can definitely check that out. You can to go live with us after that. But anyway, let me get into this whole Patrick Beverly thing. Patrick Beverly, guys. Okay, I'm actually a little bit worried because Patrick Beverly is actually my third favorite Clipper. Patrick Beverly, guys, just to put this into context, he is my third favorite Clipper behind Kawhi Leonard and Marcus Morris. I love his energy. Y'all notice I've said this a million times. I love his competitive fire. I love the defense that he plays with. You saw just the other day, Stephen Curry named Patrick Beverly as one of the best defenders I think he's ever played against. And Shannon Sharp was kind of making fun about him, like, yeah, because he's a pest and all of this different stuff. Whatever you want to say. I mean, Patrick Beverly has made all first defensive teams. Now, if he's a pest, then he must be a very good pest to make an all-first defensive team. That's not an easy thing to do. So I like his defense. I like his passion. I think he's the heartbeat of the team, right? He's a very good three-point shooter. If I look at Patrick Beverly's stats this season for the Clippers, the dude is averaging 8 points per game. He's getting you 3.6 rebounds. Patrick Beverly is also a good rebounder for his size. He's only 6'1", guys. And Patrick Beverly gets a lot of offensive rebounds if you guys watch his game, especially timely offensive rebounds because of his activity and his energy. And he gets you 2.1 assists per game, but he's shooting 43% from the field and almost 42% from three. That's very important. He's shooting 41.6% from the three-point line for the season, and he's shooting 40% from the 80.5% from the free throw line. So Patrick Beverly is putting up decent numbers. Yes, just like Marcus said, he's a hard worker, right? It's all grit, all determination. He's not very talented. I don't even think he was drafted, but the dude just works hard. And Shannon Sharp and them were going back and forth about this. However, this is my point I'm trying to make here. Apart from all of this, Patrick Beverly this season has only played 31 games for the Clippers. Only 31 games, guys. Think about that. Patrick Beverly has missed 28 games this season for the Clippers. 28. Okay, 28. HED just asked what they signed. Yogi Farrell. That's the guy that just signed. That's the HED's question. Yogi Farrell. He's only played. He's missed 28 games. That's basically half of the NBA season. Patrick Beverly has not been available. Right now, with him being injured, there've been some pros and cons to this. It's not like as if it's been all bad. Why? Because in his absence, other players have gotten minutes. Reggie Jackson right now, to me, if Patrick Beverly came back tomorrow, I think Reggie Jackson is probably going to be that 6 man off the bench type of role, the same way Lou Williams was, because Reggie Jackson has really, really, really stepped up. He's stepped up his scoring. And I mean, because he's a starting point guard, but he's really filled in nicely for Lou Williams. He's been a lot more on target than off target, like the way Lou Williams was. Another person that's got a chance to develop is Terence Mann. If Lou Williams was there and Patrick Beverly was healthy, he would not be getting those minutes. Terence Mann has really, really improved. He's gotten minutes. He's gotten better. And Terence Mann is a player. He sometimes plays the point guard position. Sometimes he plays the 2-guard position. But the guy plays great defense. He has good court vision. He rarely makes mistakes. He's turning into a knockdown 3-point shooter. He has a lot of length to him. He could defend. So Terence Mann has been getting minutes, and Luke Kennard and Amir Kofi. Sometimes you see Amir Kofi getting good minutes. Sometimes you see Luke Kennard getting minutes. So there's been some positive things with Patrick Beverly being out. But here's my concerns. Here's the cons to all of this. With Patrick Beverly missing so many games, okay, number one, that creates a lack of continuity in the starting lineup. That's the first problem because he's not been playing. Let me see some of your comments that you guys have been leaving. Let me check out some. Again, so I see a lot of comments are coming in. So guys, again, don't forget to join the channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit the $ to join the channel so I can see some of your comments. Okay, let me see. Easy win against the Blazers. No Lillard tonight. It could be. It could be. We got to see. It also depends who the Clippers are going to play. Are the Clippers going to rest some guys or are they going to play everybody? Make sure you guys keep hitting the like button. We're almost at 150 people. Appreciate that. All right, so let me see what else. Fitta is an experienced Boogie, at least has been around the league. Yeah, Boogie's been around the league. It looks foggy. Yeah, that's the camera on computers. The computer cameras are not very good. So when we get a webcam, Marco and I are thinking of upgrading to get a webcam. So we'll definitely fix that. Paul George ain't in your top 3. No, Paul George. I'm not talking about the best Clippers. I'm talking about my favorite Clippers. I got Kawhi. I love Marcus Morris Sr. I said it during the offseason last year. I said that Marcus Morris Sr. was the guy I think the Clippers needed to get. Have y'all been watching Marcus Morris Sr. this year? Have y'all seen the numbers that Marcus Morris Sr. has been putting up this year? Let me pull up Marcus Morris Sr.'s numbers right now, because Marcus Morris, listen, let me tell you something. I think this dude has been a very important piece of the Clippers this season. Let me look at the numbers that this guy's averaging this season. Think about this, guys. Marcus Morris Sr. is averaging 13.3 points per game. He's shooting 47% from the field. Guys, listen to this. Marcus Morris Sr. is shooting 48% from the three-point line for the season. He's attempting 5.2, making 2.5 per game. He's shooting 81% from the free throw line. He's also getting you 4 rebounds, also getting you 1 assist per game, and almost a steal per game. That's Marcus Morris Sr. I said it in the offseason. The Clippers could not afford to not re-sign this dude. They could not afford, because he's a very versatile player. First of all, he can defend. That's the first thing. He has good size. And how tall is Marcus Morris Sr.? He's what? The dude is 6'8", 220 pounds. So he's a big body. He has a lot of length. He can defend. Usually when they start off the game, they usually post him up. And he's usually able to go and hit a mid-range jump shot. The guy can ball. He can stretch the floor and hit the threes. He's tough. He can rough dudes up. I like the nastiness and the edge that he plays with. I love Marcus Morris Sr., and I think he got a little bit of crazy in him, which I think every championship team needs. Every championship team needs at least one crazy dude. And I think that's between Marcus Morris Sr., Patrick Beverly, and also Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo got like a little crazy part to him too. If you watch Rondo, he did spit in Chris Paul's face. Let's not act like as if he didn't do that. He did low-key spit in Chris Paul's face. He did that. He just tried to play it off like he did it. He did that, and Rondo's a little bit crazy too. So I like this dude as well. Let me see some of your other comments. Reggie isn't a good defender. He can score though. Rondo will not be starting because the Clippers can build leads, but they can't maintain it. Rondo is there to hold the lead and improve the game when struggling. Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a little bit. I appreciate that. From your opinion, what does this mean for Cousins? Well, I don't think it doesn't really mean anything, especially if we're talking about a point guard. This is to Karon S's question, because they signed a point guard, so I don't really think it affects him. I'm going to get to that a little bit later as well. Let me just try to get a few more comments. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, Reggie's handles are underrated. Yes, Reggie's handles are underrated. Hey, Mark, what's good, man? Welcome in. So anyway, let me continue here. If you guys have a question, just make sure you join so I can see where your questions are coming in. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So there have been some pros and cons to this. As I said, I mentioned one of the cons is that there's a lack of continuity in the starting lineup, right? That's one of the things. The second thing is the Clippers have yet to solidify what their rotation is going to be. Their rotations, it seems like they're experimenting every single night. And given the fact that the playoffs are just right around the corner, guys, the season is ending in 3 weeks, give or take. The playoffs start May 22nd. Before the playoffs, you have the play-in tournament. I think the season ends on May 18th. There are only 13 games left. If you count tonight's game, there's only 12 games left in the season. I think Anthony Davis, make sure you guys keep hitting the like button. Appreciate that. I think Anthony Davis is coming back this week. I think LeBron should be coming back next week. They already said that LeBron James is already doing workouts with light contact. So it's not like as if what do you call it? Other teams aren't ramping up. The Clippers still don't know what their playoff rotation is. But the biggest question is this. This is the biggest question I got to ask. Will Patrick Beverly be available for the playoffs at all? Whatever you guys think, leave your comments. I want to hear what you guys think. Do y'all think that Patrick Beverly, given the fact that he's only played 31 games this season out of a possible 59, he's missed 28 games, do y'all think that Patrick Beverly is going to be available for the playoffs? Let me hear what you guys think. Okay, Mark is saying yes. Okay, let me see what else. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think he's coming back? Don is saying doubt it. Daddy Chill is saying yes. You already know says yes. Okay, so a few people are saying yes. Tori, hey, Tori, what's good? Tori's saying yes. I think he'll be available. We need him. Okay, Marcus is saying yes. Dan, Pat, if he did, okay, I don't know. Patrick Beverly will most likely be available after the second round. You see what he said? Did you hear what he just said? He said, Patrick, this is Hanson Carter's comp. He said he will most likely be available after the second round. That's an interesting point you just made. Actually, no, he's a dog. Okay, Patrick Beverly will be ready. Some people said, okay, no, okay. Some people are saying yes and no. Now, here's my point. If Patrick Beverly's already missed half of the season, I guess at this point, we're going off of hope because he hasn't shown the ability to play for a good amount of games this season. Okay, the next question is, should the Clippers just assume that Patrick Beverly's not coming back? Because why else would they go out there and make a signing like this? Now, do the Clippers have enough point guards? Yes, they do. But for them to go out there and sign this dude to a 10-day contract means one or two things. It probably means that they've been talking to Reggie, I'm not Reggie, Patrick Beverly, and he's like, maybe I feel back, maybe I can come back now, maybe I'm not sure. But the Clippers don't want to be caught in a situation where they go out there, they don't have a backup, and then Patrick Beverly doesn't come out, or Patrick Beverly can come back and still get injured again. This is the part we're missing. Patrick Beverly can come back and still get injured again because the guy, as much as I love him, he seems to be injury prone. This is the question. So if Patrick Beverly is not coming back, because he's not coming back this week, he ain't coming back next week. They say for at least the next 3 weeks. And even when he does come back, you're not just going to throw him up in there in the starting lineup. Because if they do that, hey, Crook P, what's good? If they do that, if they do put him in the starting lineup, then the question becomes, how many minutes are you going to play him per game? Are you going to be experimenting with his minutes in the first round? Let me ask y'all a question. The Clippers right now, the number 3 seed, as we're speaking. The Lakers are the number 5. What if the Clippers meet the Lakers in the first round? Do you think the Clippers should still be experimenting on what lineup they should have in the first round against the Lakers or the Portland Trailblazers? Is that when they're going to start? Do y'all remember what happened with Montrezl Harrell last season in the bubble when he came in? I think in the first games, he was like huffing and puffing up and down the court, and Doc Rivers did the thing like run, because he was out of shape. They're not just going to throw Patrick Beverly in there, and all of a sudden he's going to be Patrick Beverly that he was after 20-plus games of playing. He's not going to have his legs under him. So that's another thing. Let me see. Yogi got a 10-day. Okay. Let me see what else you guys got. Yogi can't play in the playoffs, though, right? I don't think he's going to play. And this is my next point I want to get to. Let me just read some of your comments. Candace Leo, what's good? Okay, let me see. I'm seeing some other comments. What else you guys have? Cousins looks fat, not going to lie. The signing was pointless, to be honest. What else you guys got? Let me see. Serge, a big part of the playoffs. Yes, he is, but I don't even know what's happening to Serge. So this is the question for you guys. Assume Patrick Beverly's not coming back, because I don't think he's going to come back. I don't think he's going to come back, at least in time for the playoffs. That's just to me, that's I'm being as positive as possible, because he's going to miss the next 3 weeks. The season is going to be over. They're probably going to have 1 or 2 games left in the regular season before he comes back. So the question is this: if Patrick Beverly does not come back, who should be the starting point guard for the Clippers? Should it be Reggie Jackson or should it be Rondo? Who do you think should be the starting point guard for the Clippers if he doesn't come back? Again, make sure you guys hit the join button so I can read out your comments here. So go ahead. Who should be the starting point guard if Patrick Beverly is not healthy? Should it be Reggie or should it be Rajon Rondo? Who do you think? Okay, Mark is saying Reggie. No one wants to see the Blazers in the first round. They could be dangerous. Reggie and Rondo off the bench, 6-man. Rondo. Everybody saying Rondo. Angel said Rondo. James Franco said Rondo. Daddy Chill said Rondo. Marcelo said Rondo should start. Rondo. This is from Isaac Chin. Wallpaper God. Reggie. Rondo. Reggie. HS48 Jackson. Okay, he's saying Jackson. Sam is saying Reggie. He earned it. Starting point guard depends on the matchup. Interesting point. Lester, Aaron, Jackson, Rondo is better for the second unit. Depends on the matchup. Depends on the matchup. Okay, so playoff Rondo. Okay, so pretty much the majority of the people are saying, the majority of you guys are saying Rondo, and some people are saying Reggie. I think it's probably like 2-1, I would say. Now, let me ask you guys a question. From what Tyronn Lue said about Rajon Rondo, from that video, make sure you guys keep hitting the like button, guys. We're almost at 200 people. Make sure you keep hitting the likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Just keep hitting the likes. Thank you. Tyronn Lue recently said that Rondo was brought to the team so just in case when things start going poorly, Rondo can fix the offense. That's what Tyronn Lue said. Now, my question to you guys is this. Can we all agree? Do we all agree that Rajon Rondo, Mercedes, how you doing? Welcome. Do we all agree that Rajon Rondo is the best point guard on the Clippers? So my question is this. Why wouldn't the Clippers put out their best lineup to start every single game? Because my question is this. What if Reggie Jackson is your starting point guard, but you see the offense is not running properly, maybe in the first quarter or the beginning of third quarters? The offense is not. Is it that we're going to wait for Rondo to come? Is it we're going to wait for a problem to arise before we bring in Rondo to try to fix it? Or wouldn't the Clippers want to start their offense as smoothly as possible, Rondo starting? I mean, wouldn't they want him to be the starter and Reggie come off the bench as the sixth man to give the bench some scoring off the bench? Some people also mention the fact about Rondo being in that second unit. The second unit, if Rondo starts, has two playmakers. They have Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum is a playmaker, and he's a glue guy. He makes the offense flow. And they have Paul George. If we look at the Clippers' substitution patterns, generally what happens is Kawhi Leonard usually plays the full first quarter. Paul George, they bring him out early. I think with like 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter or so, they bring out Paul George, and then they start him in the second while Kawhi Leonard sits, I think, all the way up onto the 8-minute 7 mark. So they already have a point guard. Crook P, thank you so much. Well, just 1 second. Honestly, I'm worried about Serge being healthy and ready for the playoff. I'm going to get to that. I'm definitely going to get to that. Thank you for your question. I'm going to get back to you on that one. So wouldn't you they normally have Paul George on the bench anyway. So the bench is going to be solidified anyway. So it's not like as if, Rondo. But for me, if it was me, I want to give my team the best shot because Rondo is the smartest guy probably on that team. Kawhi Leonard is smart, but Rondo is hella smart. And I would want to start him and Reggie come off the bench as a sixth man. This is just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. Some people disagree, but that's my opinion. Let me get to this question. Honestly, I'm worried about Serge being healthy. Okay. Crooktown P. I think we did a live maybe 2 lives ago, and I was saying this exact same thing about Serge Ibaka. But to be fair to the Clippers, that's why they signed DeMarcus Cousins, because DeMarcus Cousins is an insurance policy. But Serge Ibaka is in the same boat as Patrick Beverly. Now, who was it that I heard? I think it was Brandon Marshall or some other player that was saying that athletes, I think it was either him or Shannon Sharp, one of these guys, somebody said that athletes, when they want to just not play, they can make up an injury and say, something that you can't check. Like, maybe I have a sore ankle or something like that they can't check, right? Not like as if I tore my kneecap or something like that. And they will use that as an excuse to get rest. Some people, I forgot the athlete who said it, maybe Brandon Marshall, I think it might have been Brandon Marshall that said it. He said that some of these athletes are using this as an excuse to rest up their bodies, saying that they're injured or that the injury is more worse than it is. That's what I heard. Is that true? I don't know. But to Crooktown P's point, when the playoffs start, the whole purpose of getting Serge Ibaka, the whole purpose of it is Zubac wasn't good enough last year. Zubac simply wasn't good enough. Although he plays with a lot of energy, he's a high-intensity guy. He can defend the paint to some point. He plays with a lot of physicality. He draws fouls, but he's not skilled enough to guard very good centers. You can't put Ivica Zubac on Anthony Davis in the first round of the playoffs after Anthony Davis is rested and determined and expect him to be able to do anything with him. He's not enough. Hell, Serge Ibaka's not enough. They're going to need a rotation of bigs. And I don't think DeMarcus Cousins is good enough. If you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, he looks slow. He doesn't look very fast. Sometimes he looks like he's laboring up and down the court. Now, maybe he's in good shape. Obviously, I don't know him. But you need Serge. And we don't even know when Serge is coming back. So one of the most important things the Clippers did was going out there and getting DeMarcus Cousins, because we don't know what the heck is going to happen with Serge. That I don't even know. Serge has been out for at least a month now. I don't know when Serge Ibaka is coming back. We did a video on this just a few days ago. So let me see what else you guys got, and then I'll continue with the comments here. Okay, let me see what else you guys got. Let me see if I missed any comments here. Okay, let me just, before I continue. Rondo starting all day. I prefer Rondo. This is Natty Bread 1. I prefer Rondo. Let me see. Marco Blue. Mark Log. Okay. Just 1 second. I think, okay. Yone. I hope I pronounced that right. Finally here. Okay, yes, welcome. I think Rondo should come off the bench and finish. I also think Batum will play well today. Batum is the sneakiest shot blocker that I've ever seen. But Nicholas Batum moves in a way where Nicholas Batum looks like he's always beat on when people drive past him. Then he somehow recovers and blocks people's shots. Every single time he does it, I'll be sitting there wondering, like, how the hell did he get his hand on that ball? Nicholas Batum has a lot of length, but he's also a great playmaker, and he's going to be big for the Clippers this season. So let me get back to my points, and just keep leaving your comments, and I'm going to get to them as many as I can. So I already spoke about Boogie. Yeah. So now back to this whole Yogi Farrell thing. So if Patrick Beverly doesn't come back, let's say Patrick Beverly doesn't come back until the second round, as somebody said, that means that the Clippers are most likely going to have to keep this guy on their roster, or Terence Mann may end up getting more minutes, which may now force Luke Kennard to play, because remember, the Clippers still don't have an 8-man rotation yet. They don't have an 8-man rotation. In the playoffs, you're not playing 10 guys. On some nights, you see Patrick Patterson, who's been playing very well, I got to say. Patrick Patterson has been playing very, very well. He comes down, he plays defense, he hits his threes. He reminds me a lot of John Michael Green last year, but they usually have Patrick Patterson playing the 5 in some cases. But he's been a good pickup. But the Clippers don't have they don't have right now, the Clippers, they don't have an 8-man rotation for the playoffs. They don't have one. This is their starting 5, and we don't even know who their point guard is going to be, because remember, Patrick Beverly's not out. So let's assume Patrick Beverly's not out. Let's assume Tyronn Lue stays with Reggie Jackson as a starting point guard. You got Reggie Jackson. You got who do you got? Reggie Jackson. You got Paul George. You got Kawhi Leonard. You got Marcus Morris Sr. To Crooktown's point, is Serge going to be back? Is Serge Ibaka going to be back? Okay, so let's assume Serge comes back. Let's just assume Serge Ibaka is going to be healthy. Let's say his back is going to be feeling better. Then you got Serge. That's your 5. Okay, who are the next 3 guys that you trust coming off the bench? Rondo, I would say, is 1. Now you're 6. Who's the second guy? Zubac. Now you're 7. Who's the next guy? You have Rondo, you have Zubac. Paul George's minutes are going to be switched in. So that means who's the last guy? Luke Kennard? Is Luke Kennard the guy that you're going to trust? Luke Kennard has been in and out. Morris is already starting, Melvin. Morris is already a starter. So we don't know yet. And if Patrick Beverly comes in, that means whose minutes gets the minute? No, Batum is already coming in. I said you have Reggie Jackson. You have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris Sr., and Serge. Assuming Serge is healthy, you remove these 5. Then you got the backup to the point guard. That's Rondo. You're 6. You got the backup to the center. That's Ivica Zubac. That's 7. Who's the last guy? Is it going to be Luke Kennard? Is it going to be Terence Mann? Who's going to be the last guy? Or Nicholas Batum? Okay, so you got Batum. So that means that's your playoff lineup. No Kennard, no Terence Mann, and that's it. Is that going to be the lineup? We don't know. We're guessing because we don't know. Now, Zubac should start. If Zubac starts, then what was the purpose of going out there and getting Serge? Serge started the entire season. You can't start Zubac if they play against the Nuggets. You can't start Zubac against Anthony Davis. He's too good for him. AD is good. So now he's saying situational. That I agree, because sometimes playoffs make matchups make series, but it also depends. If they face the Lakers, they're going to need Serge. Just my opinion. If they face the Blazers, maybe they can rely more on Zubac. Just my opinion. Let me see. What do you think about DeMarcus Cousins? I think DeMarcus Cousins has come in here and done exactly what we can expect from him. Let me see if I can pull up his numbers here. Let me look at DeMarcus Cousins' numbers, DeMarcus Cousins' stats. Let me look at his stats right now for the Clippers. Let me see how he's doing. DeMarcus Cousins right now for the Clippers. Okay, DeMarcus Cousins for the Clippers this year, he's only played 5 games. Okay, he's playing about 10 minutes a game. He's shooting about 40% from the field. That's very poor. As a big man, that's poor. And with the Houston Rockets, is it the Houston? Yeah, with the Houston Rockets, he was shooting 37% from the field. That's not good. Boogie should be somewhere up in the high 40s, like 47, 48. Okay. When he was playing with the Golden State Warriors that season, he played, 30 games. He shot 48% from the field. With the New Orleans Pelicans, he shot 47% from the field. So his field goal shooting percentage is low, but fine. Let's assume that's going to go up. He's shooting 20% from the 3, but he hasn't attempted a lot of 3s. So that's to be fair. He's shooting 50% from the free throw line. He's not attempting a lot of free throws. He's not getting a lot of minutes. How many rebounds is he getting you a game? He's getting you 2.4 rebounds a game, but he's only playing 10 minutes. So you can't really expect much. In some games, he doesn't even play. So, and he's getting you 2 personal fouls. So I think DeMarcus Cousins is just a big body that they're going to use. Make sure you guys keep hitting the like button, guys. Almost to 250 people. I think he's just a big body that they're going to use to probably use up some fouls. Probably. But ideally, I think the Clippers are hoping that Serge Ibaka will be back. Who is Torricelli? Is Serge coming back? My brother, I have no idea. This is the question we've all been waiting for. The medical staff, they never release any information. I don't know when Serge Ibaka is coming back. I have no idea. Let me see what else you guys got for me. Zubac is a great matchup for Jokic. No, Mark. We saw that Jokic struggled against him. Zubac can score. Yeah, he struggled against him, but Jokic is too skilled. And Nikola Jokic is probably going to be the MVP this year. Nikola Jokic is a matchup nightmare for teams that are not very good in the interior. The Lakers did a very good job against him because they had 3 legitimate bodies that they could throw at him last year. They had Dwight Howard, who's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Dwight Howard, who still looks like he's in great shape. You had JaVale McGee, who's a legitimate 7-footer. Then you had Anthony Davis, who I thought last season should have been Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. That's what I thought AD should have been. They had those guys this year. Let me see. Who said this? Mark Blue. Let me see. Okay. I lost the comment that you said here. Is Boogie needed as an extension? Okay, I'm not sure about that. Zubac played against Giannis great. If you trust him against in the series, I don't think I would. Do you think? Thanks, Alonzo. I'm going to read your question in a second. Do you think we are facing the Blazers first round? If so, can we sweep them or will I don't think they sweep the Blazers, man. Not with that backcourt of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. But let me say this. If the Clippers play against the Blazers in the first round, expect, you heard it now, expect Paul George to average between 28 to 30 points per game in that series. For whatever reason, Paul George always plays well, or at least in the regular season, has played really good against dudes that was talking smack to him during the bubble last year and in the offseason. He gave it to the Devin Booker and these dudes. I haven't seen him play against the Blazers, but I have a good feeling if he plays against the Blazers, he's going to get buckets. PG, the thing about PG is PG's extremely talented. Has nothing to do with his talent or his skill. It has everything to do with up here. If PG's clicking and he's aggressive, them dudes ain't got nothing for him. They got nothing. Just like Damian Lillard is nuclear, so is PG. It just has to do with his mind. Let me see this question. Alonzo Art. Okay, he said, I trust Clippers will do good in the play. I think they'll do good too. But it's going to be interesting to see who they face in that first round. Do you think Nicholas Batum is better than Green? JaMychal Green, if you mean JaMychal Green, I think Nicholas Batum has been a really good glue guy for them all year. I think as an overall player, I think he's been an upgrade over JaMychal Green because Nicholas Batum keeps the offense he keeps the offense flowing with Nicholas Batum on the floor. Although JaMychal Green, I like this game too. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter. He could play defense. He had good size to him. But Nicholas Batum with his defense and his offense, his two-way play, I think one or two games ago, he got like 5 blocks in that game. So Nicholas Batum has been the man. Okay. I came in late. Tell me who was the guy Yogi Farrell? That's Elio. Do you get how do you get a green name? How do you get a green name? Okay, Crooktown P. To get a green name, you just got to join the channel. Just hit the $ and join, and that's how you get a green name. And then you get a loyalty badge. So that's how you're able to get that. Just hit the $ and join. And that's how you do it. Let me see who else have I got into. Yeah. So anyway, so with this whole Patrick Beverly news, I don't know when Patrick Beverly is going to come back. Okay, I don't know when he's going to come back, and I think this Yogi Farrell dude is just an insurance policy. If Patrick Beverly comes back and he's healthy, I like the Clippers. But I'm also waiting for Serge. I want Serge Ibaka to come back too because they're going to need him, right? That was the whole purpose of getting him. I don't think the Clippers got Serge to be sitting on the bench or to be sitting on his couch. I think that's the reason they got him. So let me answer some more questions before I go. Let me try to answer as many questions. Leave your questions here. Again, I see some of you guys got some other topics, comments. Also, if you guys want to leave some questions or you want to chat live with us tonight, we're going to be live doing that Blazers game. Make sure you join Dreamerspro Max as a online sports community where we chat live during games, consume original content, etc. So you can get that at the end of this video in the link in the description. You can also get it on the homepage of the channel. Get 7 days of access. We're going to be on there tonight as well. We need Serge to come back. Okay, Serge or Beverly. Okay, what do you think the Clippers? Why do you think the Clippers defense got so much better? What change was? Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, a few things. The Clippers now have a top 10 defensive rating in the NBA. Early in the season, they were like 20-something. They were a very bad defensive team. Here are a few reasons why I think they improved their defense. Number one, the Clippers finally decided to start playing defense is the first thing. Secondly, Kawhi Leonard picked up his intensity on the floor. Another thing, Serge Ibaka, when Serge went down, Ivica Zubac, because he plays with so much energy, because he actually is a rim deterrent. If we're talking about help defense, Ivica Zubac can play great help defense, and he can guard around the basket. I think Zubac has been an addition to help their defense become better. Another thing, with the addition of Marcus Morris Sr. in the starting lineup, some guys are like, how the hell did Marcus Morris? Because of the threat that Marcus Morris Sr. is basically making 50% of his threes, whenever you make your shots, it allows you to set your defense. At a certain point, the defense actually started to wane a lot when Nicholas Batum was playing because Nicholas Batum cooled off. Early in the season, Nicholas Batum was hitting a lot of his shots. As the season progressed, he wasn't anymore. Then they moved Marcus Morris Sr. back into the lineup. Their defense improves. And I think overall, the team has just picked up the defensive play. They've really started coming out with energy early in games. If you look at opponents, they hold them a lot closer to 100 points. Even the game they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, it was 106-103. It wasn't like as if they got blown off the floor. I think when you take off their starters and it becomes difficult for them to generate offense, then their defense begins to suffer. In my opinion, that's what I think. Let me see what else you guys got. If the Clippers were healthy going into the playoffs, how far would they go? If they were or are? Charlie, I just rephrase that question. If they were or if they're healthy, I think they have as good as a shot as anybody, but I think the Lakers are still the team to beat in the Western Conference. Like, they're going to be good no matter what we think, guys. They're going to be good. But I will pick the Clippers in a 7-game series over the Lakers. Just my opinion. What else you guys got? What does that probe? I'm not sure what that means. Clippers will either move up to the first seed or second seed. But yeah, I don't know if the Clippers are going to catch the Phoenix Suns, man. To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure if they're going to catch the Phoenix Suns. Right now, they're 3 games behind them. The Clippers have 40 wins. The Phoenix Suns have 41 wins. But the Suns have 16 losses, and the Clippers have 19. Now, I do think the Clippers have the season tied. So I think if they end up with identical records, I think the Clippers get the seed over them, if I'm not mistaken, because they have the season series, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's going to be hard, and I don't think they're going to get to the number 1 seed because they're 4 losses behind the Jazz, and I don't think the Jazz are going to lose. Although the Jazz they've only won 6 out of their last 10 games. The Clippers have won 8 out of the last 10 games, but I don't see the Jazz unless also maybe the Suns and these guys start resting up some of their players closer to the playoffs. That could happen. Maybe the last 2 games of the playoffs, they rest some of their players, and also we got the play-in tournament. So probably that could affect it. I know the Jazz lost recently. I think they lost a game, but they didn't play their players. I think they didn't play Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and somebody else. But I think they won last night. So I don't think they catch them, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure. Let me see what. Okay, somebody just became Alonzo Ark. Hey, welcome to the party, man. Appreciate that. Who should we trust? This is JQ's question. Who should we trust taking the final shot in the clutch? If it was me, I would take Kawhi. I would take Kawhi, but now that you're asking that question, here's something else. I noticed Kawhi Leonard, I was watching the last game with him. I know it has something to do with rust because he missed 2 games, but Kawhi Leonard, make sure you guys keep hitting the like button, guys. I noticed that Kawhi Leonard, number one, he was forcing a lot of those threes in that last game. He was forcing a lot of those threes, number one. Number two, is it just me? Or Kawhi Leonard doesn't look like he's attacking, shooting from the mid-range as much this year. It either looks like he's going to the basket or he's selling for a 3. If you look at his highlights from last season, Kawhi Leonard would operate much more in the mid-range. And secondly, Kawhi Leonard, I think, is overpassing. Quick time, Pete. Let me get to that. I'll get to your comment in a second. I think he's overpassing sometimes. Kawhi Leonard doesn't look as decisive as he used to be. Before, Kawhi was very decisive. He would get to his spot, and he would shoot. Now he would get to his spot, he would hesitate. He will pass up the first shot for a shot that wasn't as good. He's forcing too many threes. So my question, to answer your question, if they get into a late game situation, haven't you guys seen a few times that Kawhi Leonard, they would hand him a live dribble? He will try to make a move, 1 or 2 moves, get himself in a bad spot, and then try to make a crazy cross court pass that he ends up missing. Have y'all noticed that? Kawhi doesn't look like, overall he's been playing better, but in late game situations, I'm hoping, hey Sam, welcome. I'm hoping that he can get to his shot a lot easier. In Toronto, he looked more decisive. Kawhi Leonard knew exactly what he was going to do. In this situation, last year, you had the whole Lou Williams kind of thing. Should Lou Williams take a shot? Should I take a shot? Should Paul George take a shot? I don't care if Kawhi Leonard takes a shot and miss, as long as he's not up there, pump faking and they get in the basket, post out and come back again, then I don't know. But if I trust the most, I would rather lose with the ball in the best player's hand. Now, if he draws a double team, the next guy I trust the most to make an open shot off a double team is Paul George, especially from the 3. Because Paul George is shooting a crazy percentage from the 3-point line this year. That'll be the second person. Let me see the question. Okay, this is Crooktown P. I think Patrick Patterson is going to be a part of the rotation. What's your take? You know what? You have a good point. That's a very good point, especially if Serge doesn't come back. Because what has Patrick Patterson shown he can do? Although he's not that big, he's like probably 6'9", if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check. I assume Patrick Patterson is about 6'9", 6'10". The one thing, matter of fact, let me just check right now. Let me just give me a second, guys. Let me confirm how tall Patrick Patterson is. Patrick Patterson. Okay, Patrick Patterson is just 1 second here. Patrick Patterson, NBA player. Patrick Patterson is what? Let me see. 1 second here. Let me pull up his height. Patrick Patterson is 6'8". Funny enough. That's crazy. I didn't know Patrick Patterson was that short. So Patrick Patterson actually plays big, because sometimes they have Patrick Patterson playing at the 5. What he does do that I like is that he stretches the floor. That's probably the reason why Tyronn Lue plays him some minutes over Cousins, over Boogie, because Patrick Patterson, he can hold his own to a certain extent, especially if he gets help from his teammates, but he stretches the floor. That's the fundamental difference between him and DeMarcus Cousins. He stretches the floor and he's faster on his feet. He can switch really well. He's very good when the Clippers want to go small. That's a very good small ball lineup. If they want to take Ivica Zubac off the floor, you got whoever their point guard is. Let's just say Reggie Jackson, Kawhi. Then you have Paul George, who's 6'8" at the two guard. Kawhi Leonard, who's 6'7". Marcus Morris Sr., who's 6'8". And then you have that guy. Very versatile lineup. You have a lineup where everybody can shoot threes. All of those guys I just mentioned are shooting above 40% or close to 40% from the 3. Paul George and Marcus Morris Sr. are shooting over 40%. Patrick Patterson is up there too. So he may get some minutes depending on the health of Serge. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Hey, Christopher Ward, what's good? Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Damn, 6'8", short. Yeah, he's short, but he plays big. Let me see what else you guys got. Let me see what else you guys got. Okay, Pat, AD stopper. Wait, did you say Pat is Pat? Okay, Patrick Patterson. I thought you meant Patrick Beverly. Okay. Make sure you guys keep hitting the likes. We're at 250. Guys, we never got to 300 people on the live. Let's try to get to 300 people in the next 10 minutes, and then we'll close off there. Let me see. Who's the starting lineup if everyone's healthy? In my opinion, if you ask me who the starting lineup should be, I would start Rondo, but some people say save him for the fourth. For me, I don't want to get into a situation where the Clippers are not running, their offense is not running smoothly in that first quarter, and then we get to like the second quarter and they go down, and then we now got to bring Rondo in to come and do like he's a mechanic and try to fix the engine that's not working. I'd rather them start off well, then bring Reggie off the bench, knowing that I have two ball handlers in that second unit with Paul George and what's his name, and Nicholas Batum. But the coach said he wants Rondo in that second lineup to help to make sure they don't have a drop off. Probably that's because he probably noticed that the Clippers don't close out second quarters that well. They usually tend to come out hot in third quarters. So probably that's the reason. I haven't looked at the team that well. Let me see what else. Let me see what else you guys got. Nah, Pat is 6'8". This is Cash Sneakers. He's 6'8". Let me see what else. Kieran, thanks a lot for that. We appreciate that. Montrezl Harrell was trash. He was 6'7". Can't shoot. Okay, but the one thing I will say about Montrez is this: he can score around the basket, and if you watch some of his recent games, he's actually been taking that mid-range jump shot. He's actually surprised me. It looks like that's a shot that he's adding in his arsenal. To be quite honest with you, so it looks like he's been improving that. We should get Cousins into rhythm by getting him more minutes down the stretch of the floor. I agree, but this is Jesus' question. But at the same time, maybe Serge is coming back, and if we're getting Serge back, then maybe you don't need Cousins. But it also depends on matchups too. Okay, what 8, baby? Let's just gear up for the championship celebration. Hey, what we got to see, I think, is going to be a tough one. And also, given the fact that Kevin Durant, we did a video about this, the Brooklyn Nets are also having their issues too. If some people are worried about the Clippers, y'all need to pay attention to the Brooklyn Nets. Although I think they're the scariest team in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets, their big three has only played 7 games together. That's their big three. KD just went out. Yes, they were talking about KD. Yes, I think it was Brandon Marshall. For those of you guys that just came in now, I was talking about the thing about how some athletes like to use it as an excuse, injuries as an excuse to not play, and they want to rest. Brandon Marshall made that point. He said maybe KD just use it as some time to get more rest. Now, I don't know how that makes sense, given the fact that KD just missed the last month. I don't know what other rest KD needs, given the fact that he didn't play basketball all of last year. I don't know what kind of rest Brandon Marshall is talking about in this case. But the Brooklyn Nets also got some issues. To me, I think their most important player, said it before and I'll say it again, I think their most important player is James Harden. If James Harden is healthy and Kyrie's healthy, although they lost LaMarcus Aldridge because he had a heart condition, but if he's healthy, I definitely think the Nets have a chance. But they also have their issues because KD's not healthy. That's also something to pay attention to. Okay, so I think I've answered as many questions as I can. Let me see. I think I've answered as many questions as I can, but let me just see what else I got here. I do agree that D Cousins and Ibaka on the floor would be lethal in the paint. They would, depending on who they're matching up against. If they're going up against maybe the Denver Nuggets, then you have a twin tower effect. That's what the Lakers did to him. The Lakers, they just smothered the dude. You put Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis on the floor, Nikola Jokic had nowhere to go to, man. They just put him in a straitjacket. As skilled as he is, they turned him into a passer. That's all they did. And the Lakers defend the three-point line really well. Hey, Green, welcome from Trinidad. What's your closing lineup for the Clippers? Rondo, Paul George, Kawhi, Marcus Morris Sr., and I would go with Serge, because Serge I know can stretch the floor and hit threes. And I think he can also hit free throws, so I would go with Serge. If he's not healthy, depending on the matchup, you may see Patrick Patterson on the floor or if it's a Zubac. It all depends on the matchup. Let me take a few more questions before we go off here. Let me take 2 more questions. Thoughts on AD return? Will he return in his best form? Listen, as I said before, AD coming back, the Lakers are starting to ramp it up again. Okay, they're starting to ramp it up again, and I think they're going to be tough. The only thing about AD is this: his mentality. If AD comes back on, attack mode, then I think the Lakers are going to be live, because AD is one of the top 6, 7 best players in the NBA. Top 6. Some people have him in the top 5 as talent, as far as talent. They're going to be tough with AD back. So I think the Lakers are going to be right up there. I still think in the end it's going to come down to the Lakers and the Clippers. Some people are saying the Jazz, or some people are saying the Suns. I don't think it's going to be the Nuggets with Jamal Murray out. So I think those are going to be the 2 people. Okay, the new guy, this is Math. This is that's going to be Yogi Farrell. Okay, I think I got everybody here. I think I've answered all of your questions. We need an injury report. Alonzo, they're not going to give you nothing, man. They just keep kicking the can down the road. I don't know what they're talking about. Do you think the Clippers are going to any Game 7? It depends on who they play against. Okay, I think I pretty much answered everybody's question here. I think I've answered everybody's question. So, guys, again, if you guys want to leave your question, if I didn't answer your question here, make sure you join the channel, leave it on the channel, because we get a lot of comments, so I can pick out your question. People that are members on the channel, when you leave a comment, it goes to a separate section. The Don, what's good? Appreciate that. Yeah, man. How you feel about Yogi? Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. I feel like he's just an insurance policy for the team, man. I think he's just an insurance policy for the team. Hopefully, Patrick Beverly comes back. If they come back, I think if Patrick Beverly comes back before the season is over, the Clippers are probably going to waive him. But also, don't forget, they got Terence Mann as well. But yeah, so if you guys want to do that, make sure you join the channel. Also, if you guys want to chat live with us, make sure you join Dreamerspro Max as our online sports community. You'll be able to go live with us. We're going to link that at the end of this video after this live, so you guys can join us there. Anyway, appreciate it. Thank you guys for spending an hour with me. I appreciate that. Marco's also been here. I thank you guys a lot for that. How do you become a member? Just hit the $sign and join. That's how you become a member. Appreciate that. Wishing you guys a great day. Let's have a good game tonight. Thank you guys so much, man. Have a good one. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.